Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Streusel Pumpkin Pie. Pumpkin pie is one of my favorite desserts every year at Thanksgiving. It's about the only time we seem to eat it, but I love making it, I love eating it. I want to share some of my recipes with you guys. And today we're going to do a variation of a pumpkin pie that features a graham cracker crust and a streusel topping over that pumpkin filling. So let's jump right into making our crust. Now this crust is a really simple 3-ingredient recipe. You got a 1.5 cups of graham crackers that have been broken down in the food processor. We'll add 6 tablespoons of unsalted butter to that, and 3 tablespoons of white sugar. So this just needs to get mixed until all of those crumbs are hydrated by the butter. You'll know you're there when you take a squeeze of it and it wants to hold together. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to transfer this to our large pie pan. I'm going to spread it out evenly. I want the graham cracker crust to creep up the sides all the way up to the top. And then once we kind of get this evenly spread out, I'm going to start pressing on it to compact the graham cracker crumb. Now you can use any flat-bottomed item like this mason jar or measuring cup. It's a good way to get it started. And then from the sides, we're just going to press into the sides while rotating. And we'll keep pressing on this until everything's nice and flat and compact. All right, that is looking good. I'm going to throw this into the fridge to let that butter chill down, and this is all going to set up while we make our streusel next. So the streusel starts with 1 stick of cold unsalted butter. We're going to dice this down. And that's going to go into our food processor. Now we're going to add to that a 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of white sugar, 2 tablespoons of smoked turbinado sugar, a little different flavor and texture out of that. You got 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, which is, cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, ginger. And then finally, a 1/2 teaspoon of our Jacobsen kosher salt. So at first, as we turn this on, it's going to start to look like coarse sand. You're going to let it keep going until that coarse sand look becomes kind of clumped together. Starting to see it now. Getting a little bit chunkier, and that's what we're going for. And before you know it, we're there. So now you've got this texture it'll hold together, but it'll also crumble at the same time. So we want to crumble that up and throw it in the fridge to chill, because this isn't going onto the pie until later in the cook. Now let's move on to making the filling. We can do it right here in the same food processor pitcher. We don't need to change that out. You don't even really need to clean it out, because it's all going to the same place anyway. We're going to start with 2 cups of pumpkin puree. This is just canned pumpkin puree because, let's be honest, it's the holidays. You got other stuff to do. We're going to add to that 1 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/2 cup of maple syrup, and then 3 eggs. If I was doing this by hand rather than the food processor, I'd whip these ahead of time, but it's all going to break down in the food processor. Got a couple teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and a teaspoon of fresh ginger. I just love the taste of fresh ginger. You could use dried, but fresh tastes so much better. And then finally, a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. So this won't take long, and we don't really want to whip that heavy cream too much, so just hit it real quickly until everything comes together. We're talking 10 seconds, then you want to scrape the sides, make sure that everything's getting evenly incorporated. Another 10 seconds and you're all good. So that filling is going to go right into our chilled graham cracker crust. And you may not use 100%, you may only get about 95% to fit in here. I suppose I could adjust my recipe to match that, but it's so little waste that I don't really worry about it. All right, this is ready to go to the grill. Now today we're baking on the Yoder Smoker's YS640S pellet grill at 400 degrees with pecan pellets. We're gonna pop this right onto the second shelf and set a timer for 1 hour. Well, we're 1 hour into our cook here. You can see we still got that jiggle going on in the middle, but the crust is set up enough now that we should be able to put our streusel topping on here. And be very gentle, especially right in the middle, because it's gonna sink in there a bit, and that's fine. And then we'll work our way out and just get full coverage with the streusel topping. So this is gonna need another 30 minutes or so to set up all the way. You can actually temp your pie for doneness, and I found that at about 175, this is gonna be fully set. All right, so at this point we're just gonna close this back up. We'll let it finish cooking. Come to check on it about 20 to 30 minutes. We're now at an 1.5 hour cook time. You can see that we're getting some light browning around the edges on the streusel topping. Our internal temperature has hit that 175, so we're ready to pull this off and chill it down in the refrigerator. Now I've got a pumpkin pie that has been sitting in the fridge since yesterday, and we managed to keep it safe. No one's eaten it yet. This is the one we're gonna finish our video with, so since it's already chilled all the way down. So what we're gonna do first is hit it with a little bit of powdered sugar. I think it's just really nice visually to do a little powdered sugar on top. Let's go ahead and slice into this and have a taste. Now it's up to you if this pie is 8 servings or 10 or 12. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. I think for the sake of a little taste test here, and to keep it simple, do a nice big 8-piece slice. The first one's always the hardest to get out. Now, of course, no pumpkin pie is complete without a little whipped cream on top. And now we can get a taste. Oh my gosh, you guys. You know this about me, that I'm not big on sweets in general, desserts and stuff, but this just hits the spot for me. I love that crumble on top, that streusel. It's got such great texture to it. It's not crunchy, but it's not soft either. It kind of has this weird in-between cookie-like texture to it. Graham cracker crust. I'm starting to question why we'd do anything else for pumpkin pie, because the texture of that is just incredible. Plus that graham cracker flavor. And then the filling itself, I mean, tastes like classic pumpkin pie. You've got that maple syrup showing up in there. I think that's a big key component to this filling, is that maple syrup. And then of course just your pumpkin pie spice. This tastes like fall. This tastes like Thanksgiving, tastes like family, tastes like friends, tastes like all those good things that you think about during the holiday season. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoy the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.